In today's video, I cut paper, I paint spark plug wires, I apply dirt on the wheels, and lastly I paint shovel. Hello fellow modelers! I want to make a legendary Jepp Willys model in 72 scale, and the Airfix has a lovely details and many parts. I only wanted more details. So I found a 3D model on Cal3D and print a few extra parts. You can appreciate the fine details, such as new front grille and the entire engine with a gearbox. I have learned from my previous mistakes and improved my printing settings. For instance, I set the support thickness to just 0.6 mm, making them easy to remove without losing any delicate details. I also cure resin parts after cleaning, because the resin without curing is more flexible. The model is in 72 scale, so it's quite tiny. However, the engine has the details like spark plug wires. The side of the model that was supported during the printing isn't very smooth, so it's crucial to carefully clean it up using micro grinder. The original 3D model is designed for 35 scale. It was not possible to print it directly in smaller scale, so I opened Blender 3D editor and modified each part. Primarily, I simplified design and made parts thicker. I rely on sharp tweezers for manipulation, as the parts are very delicate and can break easily. For assembly, I prefer using superglue, as it bonds stronger than resin itself. I use a LEGO Saturn 4 printer, and the resolution is only 15 microns per layer. I also set a blurring effect in my slicer, making the surface smoother. Therefore, you can hardly notice any printing layers. The test fitting seems to have no significant problems, so that I can paint the model. First, I'm unifying resin with a primer. It will reveal imperfections and unify printing layers. The model features a nice engine, but I have decided to keep the hood closed. I have a shade of US khaki green, but it's a bit too dark for 72 scale, so I mix in a few drops of light green paint to brighten it up. According to my references, the original Go Devil engine was painted green. I prefer using acrylic Vallejo paints, which works wonderfully with the paintbrushes. Since all the details will be hidden under the hood, there is no need to paint everything meticulously. The tires have a rough tire pattern, so I can paint the wheels with a paintbrush without losing details. I am applying soft highlights using a lighter khaki green shade. It might be simpler to paint the seats separately, but with a steady hand and sharper brush, it is manageable. I am applying a layer of a clear varnish, which is perfect for decals. I am using spare decals from Airfix kit, but another great option is decal sets from Edge Model Decals. They offer a wide variety, including army versions or military police designs. The Airfix decals are nicely sharp and thin, so they are perfect for this model. For even better finish, consider spraying a layer of a clear varnish over the decals and using a soft sponge sandpaper to smooth out the edges of the decals. The final layer is matte varnish. Since the Airfix kit doesn't include decals for the dashboard, I'm using some spare cockpit gadgets instead. Now it's time for some weathering. I'm applying a gentle dust effect with a Tamiya enamel paint. One of the benefits of using enamel is that you can easily reactivate or clean off the dust with an enamel thinner. Now a small amount of the mud splatters from the underside. I prefer using enamel paints for the dust effect because it dries quickly and has a lovely matte finish. The model has fine details, like an axe or a shovel. I am painting soft scratches of acrylic paint. I don't use any magnifying glass, so this effect is random, because I can barely see it. However, I am trying to make them soft as much as possible. While I can print clear parts from resin, I find that the clear plastic foil is more reliable and offers a cleaner finish. To imitate red lights, I use transparent red paint. But first, I apply a layer of a silver underneath for added depth. I am covering the front lights with a clear printing resin, which cures instantly under UV light. I used at least one part from the Airfix kit, and that is machine gun holder. I only removed the browning because I printed a better one. One of the best metallic paints for the paintbrush is polishable agama paint. It features a soft yet vibrant pigment, allowing you to create an incredibly smooth finish. And for the steel shade, I recommend using a graphite powder. The Jepp with the browning usually carried 3 additional ammunition boxes. While I do not have any ammo box decals on hand, I did find some spare yellow labels. They are probably meant for propeller blades, but at this scale it hardly matters. There is one missing detail, which is the frame for convertible roof. I made it from copper wire. I also added a few highlights of a light green paint to enhance the overall look. With these details, the model is done. The Jepp in this scale is really tiny and fragile. You can compare it, for example, with a small Tamiya paint bottle. So the next step is to create a diorama. Thank you all for watching, and heartfelt thanks to my patrons for their incredible support. See you next time!